You've probably heard stories of dogs who, upon doing something bad, run away and hide from their owners, or cats who, after knocking something over, slink away into a dark corner, head hung low in shame. But how often is this picture of the guilty animal just a figment of our imagination? Are animals really capable of feeling guilt, or are they just acting that way because they know we want them to feel bad? Let's dig into the science of animal guilt. There have been plenty of anecdotal reports about animals seeming to feel guilty after doing something wrong. For example, a dog who comes back inside after being let outside to do its business and promptly throws up on the rug, or a cat who knocks something off a counter and then seems to slink away in shame. People have even reported finding dogs who've done something bad, like chewing on the couch, and who are so overcome with guilt that they won't even come out from under the bed when their owner comes home. But what does the science say about whether any of this is actually true? Well, there's some evidence that at least some animals, including dogs, are capable of experiencing guilt. A study published in 2015 found that dogs, when given a choice between two rooms, one with their owner and one without, preferred to spend time in the room without their owner after doing something they knew was wrong. Basically, they were hiding from their owner in a way that could be interpreted as being ashamed of themselves. And it's not just dogs. A similar study found that cats also showed preferences for avoiding their owner after committing an infraction. In that study, cats who had knocked over a set of blocks either spent more time hiding or sought out more places to hide than cats who had not committed the crime, which the researchers took to mean that cats may indeed feel guilty when they do something bad. However, other experts are less convinced. Some argue that animals aren't capable of feeling guilt in the same way humans can. Instead, they suggest that animals are simply responding to the negative reaction of their owner. Animals, especially dogs, have evolved to read human emotions and will often try to avoid making us upset. So when we get mad at them for doing something bad, they don't feel guilty. They just don't want to make us upset. In fact, there is some evidence that dogs can tell whether or not we're mad at them, and they seem to respond accordingly. In a study published in 2016, dogs were found to alter their behavior depending on whether their owner was angry or not. Dogs were allowed to approach their owner either immediately after the owner had been provoked or after the owner had calmed down. And the dogs were much more likely to avoid their owner if the owner was still angry, suggesting that dogs can recognize anger and know that approaching an angry person is a bad idea. So it seems like at least some animals, particularly dogs, can tell when they've done something bad. But does that mean they actually feel guilty, or are they just trying to avoid punishment? Unfortunately, there's no way to know for sure. But there is one thing we know for certain. If your pet ever does something bad, the best thing to do is not get angry, because that could end up making your pet fearful and anxious around you. Instead, remain calm and either give your pet a timeout or remove them from the situation. If your pet does something good though, be sure to praise them and give them a treat. That'll make them much more likely to repeat the good behavior. So the next time your pet does something bad, try not to get mad. They may not even know that they're in trouble. After all, they don't have the capacity to understand abstract concepts like right and wrong, let alone the rules of your particular household. Instead, focus on teaching them what to do in the future and rewarding them for good behavior. Thanks for watching this episode of C Show, and thanks to one of our patrons for asking this question. Our patrons could submit questions to our inbox, and our editors pick out the best ones to answer in episodes like this one. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and make sure to like this video.